People think I save strangers because I care. They're wrong. I saved them because once, no one came for my sister. Her name was Arya, 2 years younger, all wild curls and bright ideas, always the brave one between us. We grew up in a quiet suburb outside the city. Small house, cracked porch, too many secrets behind closed doors. Then one night she didn't come home. The police said she ran away. They said there was no sign of struggle, that teenagers disappear all the time, but I knew better. Arya was fearless, but not stupid. She wouldn't vanish without telling me. For weeks I searched. Posters, calls, dead ends. Every road led nowhere. And when the world gave up on her, I started breaking rules I didn't even know existed. That's how I met Silas. It started with a message, a blank email except for one line. "You're looking in the wrong places, Bella." At first I thought it was a cruel prank. Then the next line appeared, live, while I was staring at the screen. "You want to find her? Learn how to see." And just like that, my computer came alive with data I didn't recognize. Hidden files, security feeds, corrupted code. I should have been terrified, but curiosity won. Silas never told me his real name. He spoke through encrypted calls, never video. He was methodical, controlled, dangerous, but he had what I needed, access. He found pieces of Arya's trail that no one else could. Surveillance footage, fake IDs, glimpses of her face across dark web trading channels. Each clue hurt more than the last, but I couldn't stop. He taught me to hack, to dig, to think like the people who took her. And the deeper I went, the darker it got. I found what the police wouldn't touch. Trafficking rings, corporate laundering, politicians who erased their sins with money and code. And somewhere inside that chaos I saw her. Arya, just once, on a blurry video frame, standing beside a black van with a logo I couldn't trace. That was the night I stopped being Bella, the honors student, the girl who played it safe. Silas called me Vex. He said I will be the one who will bring chaos and annoyance to the criminals who works in the dark. Now 1 year later, every mission I take for Silas brings me a little closer to the truth. Every girl I pull out of a van, every system I breach, every monster I expose, it's all for Arya. Because the girl I saved last night looked just like her. Same age, same terrified eyes. And for a second, when she grabbed my arm, I felt like I was holding my sister again. That's why I can't stop. That's why I'll never stop. Because somewhere out there, my sister's still waiting. And I'll burn the world if that's what it takes to bring her home. By the time the sun rose, I was exhausted. Not from lack of sleep. I'd given up on that years ago. But from remembering. The past always finds a way to bleed into the present, no matter how hard you try to bury it. Arya's face still lingered in the corners of my mind, soft and blurred, like a dream I could almost touch. The girl I'd rescued last night had brought it all back. Her shaking hands, the cracked voice that whispered, "Thank you," before I went home. Silas told me to forget it, to stay detached. But how could I? Every rescued girl was a fragment of the one I couldn't save. At school, the world pretended to make sense again. The hum of voices, the scrape of sneakers against tile floors, the sound of normalcy. I blended in, like always. But something felt off. Maybe it was the flicker in the lights as I walked into the computer lab. Maybe it was how quiet the air felt. Or how my instincts, the ones Silas had sharpened, screamed at me that someone was watching. I ignored it, sat down, and opened my laptop. For a moment, everything seemed fine. Then the cursor froze, and a single line of text appeared on my screen. "You shouldn't be out that late, Bella." My throat went dry. The words were plain, but the timing wasn't random. Whoever sent that message knew. I glanced around the room. Everyone looked normal, typing, chatting, scrolling. Everyone except Matthew Vega. He sat by the window, the morning light cutting across half his face, expression unreadable. His laptop glowed faintly, reflecting in those calm gray eyes. When he noticed me looking, his gaze met mine. Steady, quiet, knowing. He didn't smirk or look away. He just watched. That night I traced every digital trail I could find. Nothing. No IP, no data fingerprint, not even a blip on the school's network logs. Silas always said there are only 2 types of ghosts in the system, the ones who hide and the ones who erase. Whoever sent that message wasn't hiding. They were erasing. The strange part was, it didn't feel like a threat. It felt like a warning. The next morning, I caught Matthew again, leaning casually by the lockers, earbuds in, hoodie half-zipped, like any other senior with too much confidence and too many secrets. Our eyes met for just a second, and I realized something that chilled me more than fear itself. He wasn't surprised to see me. He'd been expecting me. That was when I knew. I wasn't the only one living a double life at Willow Ridge. I told myself I'd let it go. That the message, the glitch, the way Matthew Vega's eyes always seemed to follow me, it was nothing. But curiosity is poison when you've lived in shadows long enough. You start to itch when something doesn't add up. So I dug. It started with the school's internal network. Everyone leaves traces, login times, document edits, even idle mouse movements. But Matthew Vega's digital footprint was wrong. Too neat, too symmetrical. Every file he touched had the same timestamp pattern, the same byte size, as if they were manufactured to look normal. The kind of precision only someone trained in digital masking could pull off. I ran a deeper scan through a backdoor Silas once built for me. The system filtered through identities, comparing every student to public data. Then the results came back. No prior school records, no address history before Willow Ridge, no medical file, nothing. As if Matthew Vega had appeared out of thin air. I sat back in my chair, staring at the glowing screen, pulse echoing in my ears. People like him didn't exist by accident. They were made. I hesitated before calling Silas. He answered on the third ring, voice low and clipped. "You're calling late. I found something strange," I said. "About someone at school." "Define strange." "No history. No digital trail before this semester. Even his file signatures look forged." A pause, then, "Name?" "Matthew Vega." The silence that followed was sharp enough to cut through static. "Delete everything you found," Silas said quietly, "and stop looking." That wasn't the reaction I expected. "Silas, who is he?" "Not someone you should be chasing." His tone was final, but I could hear it, the faint crack beneath the calm. Fear. It unsettled me more than anything else. "Silas doesn't fear people. Does he work for someone?" I asked. "Is he—" "Enough, Bella." The sound of his voice changed, not angry, but almost pleading. "You're too close to something you don't understand. Do what I said. Erase it. Forget him." The line cut off. For a long moment, I just sat there, listening to the faint hum of the laptop. Forget him. That would have been easier if his name didn't still echo in my mind, if his eyes didn't feel like they saw through every mask I wore. And for the first time I wondered, was I investigating him? Or had he been leading me there all along?